Water is absolutely amazing. The more that is learned about water, the more we should appreciate how special it is. Every living thing on Earth, from bacteria to humans, need water to survive. Recently, scientists discovered a rock in Canada that is over 4.3 billion years old. Water is older than that. It has been around almost as long as Earth has orbited the Sun. The amazing thing about water is that we have the same amount of water today that was on Earth over 4 billion years ago. Although it is true, it's crazy to think that the water we drink today from a water fountain could be the exact water that went through a dinosaur's body millions of years ago. The amount of water on Earth today is also the same. It has never changed. There's no more or less water now than there was when Neanderthals walked the planet or pyramids were built. Earth's surface is 70% water. It would seem like there's a lot of water when looking at the Earth's oceans, but 97% of the water on Earth is salt water. Of the remaining 3%, only a fraction is safe for drinking. Even though water is a continuous cycle cleaning and replenishing itself, there is a limited amount of water for all living things to share. All of the 7 billion people living today have less than 1% of Earth's water to share for basic needs. Water changes everything. It affects lots of things if you're under a water crisis. And that's really bad. Next, I'm going to talk about the water cycle. The water cycle is a continuous cycle that repeats and repeats. Another name for the water cycle is the hydrological cycle. This is the process of the water cycle. First comes evaporation. Evaporation is when water from water resources turn into water vapor. Water vapor is when water molecules get hot and start spreading and float to the sky. Sometimes, when water vapor rises all at the same time, it gets foggy, and that's fog or mist. Transpiration comes next. It's similar to evaporation, but the vapor escapes from a plant instead of a water resource. The plant transpires, and transpiring is perspiring for plants. Then the water vapor turns into clouds, which is condensation. There are many kinds of clouds like cumulus, stratus, and cirrus. Sometimes they have mixed names like cumulus cirrus and others. Cumulus clouds look very fluffy. Stratus is like a thick sheet of clouds covering the sky. Cirrus clouds are soft, stripy, and flowy. Condensation is the opposite of evaporation because it's when gas turns into liquid, and evaporation is when liquid turns into gas. Next comes precipitation. Precipitation is any form of water that forms in the sky. When the clouds are moist, it forms either rain, sleet, hail, snow, and much more. A cool fact, there's even a rainbow with precipitation. It's because it's formed with raindrops. The most common precipitation is rain. It's because when clouds are moist, it's not really cold, so that's why it forms rain. In cold weather, like in winter, it's very cold, so it forms snow, sleet, hail, or snow crystals. Then, the precipitation drops into a water resource, and that is collection. It's called collection because it collects the water. There are many places that you can find water, like in lakes, rivers, ponds, seas, and oceans, and much more. So that's the hydrological cycle. Since I didn't talk about where the water you use comes from in the water cycle, I'll tell you how humans use water. Water is a daily resource. You use it every day. Water is available in many different places, like at home, on vacation, and communities use water too. Since there's water everywhere, do you ever wonder where the water you use comes from? Well, it comes from underground sources, a well, or surface water source like a lake. All humans think water is a source that is very easy to get, but it's not. Only 1% of the Earth's water is safe to drink. You could desalinate the seawater, but it's very expensive to do it. And desalination is to take the seawater from the sea and turn it into fresh water. A healthy person drinks approximately 8 glasses of water per day, which is 2.5 liters of water. If you drink too much water each day, you might get water poisoning, but if you drink the normal amount, you'll be just fine. Usually, you use about 153 liters of water each day. So imagine if there's about 7 billion people on Earth, and each person uses that much water every day, and we only have 1% drinkable and usable. That is how much water you use or waste each day. Water covers more of the Earth, even when only 1% is drinkable. So if you're not lucky enough to drink clean water, you'll be under a water crisis or water shortage. A person can live about a month without food, but you can't live a week without water. You could just dehydrate and die. So those are the many different ways humans can use water. You can choose to treat water well or badly, but the best should always be treating it well. There are many different ways we can pollute water, like factories and mills dump their waste into the rivers. And that's how many different rivers, like the Nashaways and the Cuyahoga River, got polluted. The Cuyahoga River was so polluted, it went on fire 15 times. About 450 cubic kilometers of wastewater is dumped into coastal areas by rivers and streams every day. There are so many ways these factories can mistreat water, and now over 400 million people live in places which suffer water shortages. Let's stop it now. Almost all of river water is polluted now. Even famous rivers are polluted. Farmers treat water very badly, and they hardly notice. They fertilize the plants on small aircrafts, and when it rains, the fertilizer gets into rivers and fishes get the chemicals in them, and they die. The animal eats the fish, and it goes on and on. Oil spills can affect the water too, so that's really bad. So those are the bad ways humans can treat water. If you treat water well, it will provide a long life supply of refreshing and clean water for you. You should treat water like a friend, a very special friend, as if you're good to it, it will be good to you. These days, factories don't even care about water. They think it's just a useless big garbage bin. Imagine if you had a big clear pond with animals and fish just in front of your house. Sadly, if people keep polluting and throwing garbage in the rivers and lakes, the clear pond might even be impossible. The world has a lack of water. 3,900 children or adults die each day because of dirty water diseases, so let's stop it together. You can help by stop polluting and to use less water. So, thank you for watching.